you clicked on this video. You want a man to be obsessed with you? I'm not gonna let you do that, honey, because you know you need to be obsessed with yourself. So how do you actually step into the energy of becoming the woman who attracts whatever she wants, including the man of her dreams, without her being the simp in the relationship who is literally chasing a man, doing everything for a man, hoping that he's gonna see her and, you know, like give her a kiss on the cheek or whatever? We're not doing that. And the first step to truly getting a man to obsess over you, I mean, first and foremost, you need to obsess over yourself. You already know that. But step number 1 is make men hate you so much that they love you. Because men, they will always talk about how, they like a specific type of woman. They have some ideas in their head, and they will verbalize these ideas. I like this type of woman. I like that type of woman, but that's not what they mean. That woman that they say that they like, that's the placeholder woman that they're hoping that they can get by saying, I have a good offer. I like this type of woman. Oh, you like me? We're good together. I'm going to do everything for you. The way you truly become the dream girl, and you actually attract a man that actually cares about you and actually thinks that you're that girl, and you repel the other dusties that are truly not interested in your growth, that are just going to make you shrink yourself so that they can grow, so that they can get a better girl. Not that you're anything less or more or anything than another girl. We don't do comparisons here, but just that in their head it's a better girl, because men are like that. Trash. Anyways, back to it. When you start channeling your inner menace, your inner witch, your inner alphaba, unlimited, together we're unlimited. Anyways, when you start channeling that and you start being like, you know what, I'm gonna dye my hair, I'm gonna wear the crazy colored makeup, I'm gonna wear the outfit that makes me happy. When you start expressing that, well, first and foremost, you're gonna literally repel a lot of people, because they're gonna be scared of you. They're gonna be scared of the fact that you're willing to show up as yourself, and that's gonna actually make the men that are truly not interested in your growth, it's gonna make them more verbal. Yeah, it's gonna make them more verbal. So it's a really great way for you to ambush people, is for you to be a little extra. And I'm not saying you need to go out and change who you are. I'm telling you, sometimes you need to become comfortable with being hated. You need to sometimes go a little out of your own ways. Like, you dress extra crazy than you're used to doing. Because that way, first and foremost, you'll take yourself out of your own comfort zone, but you will also take the people around you out of their comfort zone. So you will truly trigger them, which means that they will have no other option but to reveal their true selves. You can also do a reverse psychology version of this, which is where you go undercover, and you go undercover as a sweet, princessy, girly girl with a little dress, the tutu and the sandals and whatever, and you look like a damsel in distress, and that's how you get men to do whatever you want. And then, like, anyways, that's a different video. We can talk about that. But when you make men hate you, you truly also reveal the men that are willing to do whatever they need to do to actually get your love. Because men only truly hate women because they're not able to get them, they're not able to cage them, they're not able to control them, they're not able to condition them. When you're a woman who's very expressive, this is also why when you're very expressive, I have 57 tattoos, you guys. I have 57 tattoos. Let me show you. When you're a very expressive girly, like someone like me, and I like my style, I like my music, I like everything, I'm very expressive in that way, you're also going to attract people that are going to be harvesting on that energy because they feel your creativity. So if you are a neurodivergent girly, just be aware of that, because that's also why in some instances I will dress very like basic, and I will dress very formal, and I will look like I'm very basic, covering up my tattoos with a dress or something, because people have a tendency to gravitate towards what they say that they hate. That's what the men do. They gravitate towards what they say that they hate. So this tip about making men hate you to find a man who loves you is actually also very important to only take if you truly have boundaries. And that's the next step that I was going to give you, but we got to look at the tattoos first. Yes. Look at that. And I have a big Grim Reaper here. And I have a whole angel. I don't know how it's like an angel. What should I get next? What should I get next? I haven't gotten tattoos in a couple years. I'm actually getting removal because I was like, maybe I should get them removed, but now I'm considering getting them back on. Anyways, the next thing you have to do is you have to work on your boundaries. If you truly want to make men obsessed with you, you have to work on your boundaries. Because the thing that makes a woman the most sexy, apart from her being in her element, doing whatever it is she wants, is for her to be very strong and very firm on her boundaries, to the point where men, they really have to work to get you. Because you know what? Men don't see you as the prize unless they have to run a marathon to get you. Unless they have to run up the hill, running up that hill, and running up that building. If I only could, I'll make a deal with God. Anyways, I actually have that tattooed. If you don't have any boundaries, men are gonna think that you're like a participation trophy, and that's why they're gonna be like, okay, well, she was easy to get. I'm gonna enjoy her for now. I mean, it's nice and shiny still, but it's truly not what I want. So men will know what they want, but they'll still go for whatever they can get. And that's why you have to be very firm on your boundaries, because men will try on you even if they don't think that you guys are a good match. They will make you believe you're a good match to get what they need, and then they will leave and move on to the next, because they feel that it's not bad to get what you can get when you want it and then move on. And women are different like this. We're very like, oh, it all has to have meaning, and it all needs to be pretty and beautiful, and we all need to sing and hop around in a circle and whatever. So we have a tendency to think that everything needs to be extremely meaningful. Everything needs to be beautiful, wonderful, amazing. And if a man chooses you, that must mean that he really cares. That's a BS, girl. And you're not going to be able to figure out if a man truly wants you, if he's truly interested, if he actually wants the fairy tale jumping around and singing with the animals in the forest, if he doesn't have to work to get you. Even Shrek had to work to get Fiona at the end of the Shrek movie, because he's like, this is who I want. And Fiona was like, I'm going to have to go marry Mr. Bob Farquhar. And even then, he was like, I'm going to go. Donkey, you coming with me? We're going to go. We're going to get Fiona. You have to have boundaries. You have to have plans. You have to have something that you're going for, or else these men will swoop in. They will confuse you so that you don't know what you want, and then they'll take all your energy while they can, and then they'll leave. If you, on the other hand, have really, really strong boundaries and you know exactly what you want, you know what's going to happen? The men are going to get tired because they don't want to run a marathon for you, because you're not their dream girl. If you are their dream girl, they're going to run the marathon. But if you're not, they're not. So if you have really, really strong boundaries, like you are very disciplined in specific areas, you know what I mean? If you're very disciplined with your time, you have something going on for yourself, you have plans, you have hopes, you have dreams, then these men don't have the energy to play you if you're not truly what they want. They will, I mean, first and foremost, they will start gaslighting you if they are really, really that type of guy. But a lot of the times, they will actually start just pulling back. That's a great sign, them pulling back. This is when good girlies get very upset. It's like, oh my God, why is he not texting me? And he's a terrible guy. No. Personally, I think it's a great thing if a guy is willing to show his true colors and say, I'm not interested in putting my energy into this. Because then you know you're not his first option. and then you know that you need to move on. So it's actually a blessing. But when you have really strong boundaries, you have things that you don't tolerate, like I'm not going to go on these type of dates and I want this and this and this from a relationship, then the man is also going to know how to, he's first and foremost, he's going to know that, oh, if I want to get with her, I need to provide something. And this is where it's very good, apart from you having specific boundaries, if you know what I mean, with your body, your time, your mind. Another thing that's very good for you to have is to be very clear about the things that you like and the things that you want. Because one thing that will make him not your partner in the long haul, that's not going to make someone be a good partner for you in the long haul, is when girlies have a tendency to get into a relationship with a guy and they're not honest about the things that they like, the things that they want, because they want to make him they want to give him a chance. They want to make him see if, oh, maybe, you know, I will reveal what I like later. You don't have to reveal all of the things that you go through, who you are, all of your trauma. No. But you should be from the get-go talking about things that you like, things that you are interested in, things that you enjoy. Talk about how you love shopping. Talk about how you love traveling. Talk about how you love cats, you love dogs, you love horse shows, you love race cars, you love movies, you love concerts. Talk about everything that you love, everything that you enjoy, everything that you buy. Be very upfront about this. Everything that you like. Ooh, I love when I get flowers. I love when I get gifts. I love all of it. It makes me so happy when someone buys me gifts. When you focus on this, instead of focusing on all your trauma, leave the trauma for ChatGPT or I don't know if your mom is a part of the trauma, if she is. But anyways, leave it for your diary. Leave it for your therapist. The man's not your therapist. And if it's a bad man, he will clock that you want a therapist in a guy, and he will use that to make you do more for him. And then he'll leave you, and you will feel like, why was this so bad? And it's like, yeah, girl, because you gave him a key to be able to manipulate you. So talk about what you want. And you might say, I don't know what I want. You need to clock that before you start dating men. If you do not know what you like, if you do not know what you want, and I'm not saying you have to have your next 30 years planned. I'm just talking, you need to figure out what are some things that you enjoy in your life so that you actually, even if this man is not there, you have something that you can go out and enjoy. You need to sit down, you need to clock that. Okay? When you've clocked that, that's what you lead with. That's what you lead with in any conversation, even with people like strangers. You lead with the things that you're interested in, the things that you like, and if a man is right for you, he will supply that to you in the way that he can. And this is something that I want you to be very aware of, because if he doesn't like you, he will mess it up. And I'm not telling you that a guy can't make a mistake, because it's like, you might say, oh, I love flowers, and he brings you lilies. You didn't say you didn't like lilies. That's honest. But one thing is, you know, if a man is like, it's on your birthday and he didn't get you flowers, like, then there's something wrong. And you said, I love getting flowers on my birthday. But it's a very good way to gauge if a man is truly wanting to run that marathon for you, is for you to be very clear about certain materialistic things that you like. Because when you become more honest about certain materialistic things that you like, he will also have a mission, and he will have a mission of supplying that to you. That's something that men love. And that leads me right to the next tip, which is never make a man's life too easy. We think that, well, with other women, we like to help each other out. And, you know, you have a tampon. Oh, I have a tampon. You have a pad. Oh, I have a pad. You need someone to shoulder to cry on. Of course, come here. You know, we nurture each other. But with men, if you do too much for a man, if you make a man's life too easy, he will not see you as a dream girl. He will see you as a doormat. And I'm not telling you can't nurture your man. You cannot make him feel like he's feeling good. We're not telling you can't. You should be a good, I mean, I don't know if you should be a good woman, but you should, if a man is good, of course you should be there for him. But you shouldn't be making his life easier. You shouldn't be taking off and making it taking off all of the load so that he just feels like there's nothing to do, because that makes him frustrated. He doesn't feel like he can show up as a man if he doesn't have a mission to complete. And that's why men don't value you if you're the participation trophy. If you're literally taking all of the slack off his back, he's going to be like, oh, she's very, she's easy to get along with. She is beautiful. She's amazing. But I don't feel like I'm like doing anything. This is why the birds in the animal kingdom are the ones with the beautiful feathers and they're shaking their thing, because they have to impress the woman. When you start doing everything for a man, it is like you become the beautiful bird that has to, you're dancing. And he's like, I'm feeling like I'm being princessed over and I'm, you're entertaining me. It's like, he's going to feel a little like yuck. And it's hard to hear, but he's going to feel a little yuck if you're making his life easy. You need to make his life a little harder. You need to give him things to solve. You need to make him dance, make him your jester, because then he will feel like he's the man. He will be like, yeah, I'm the man. And then that way he will actually feel calmer. He will feel more complete in your company, and you are doing less. So you will also feel more calm. But this is extremely hard to do if you are a people pleaser girly. If you're someone who's used to doing everything for everyone, then you will feel like it's extremely hard to switch this role of being the one who's doing everything, especially if you grew up with a mom who was doing everything for your dad, or you grew up, and I'm not saying you shouldn't, like make your man a plate of food or whatever. No. We're not talking about like you just sit back and say, do it. I mean, maybe he likes that. Who am I to judge? But you just need to give him things to help me with. Oh, could you help me put up this? Instead of you rushing to clean something up when it falls on the ground, ask him for help. Instead of you, like, oh, something happens, be like, oh, you know what? I can't really lift this. Would you help me? Men, you know what? He might say, ooh, you're not that strong. You should get stronger. Maybe you should go to the gym. But in his head, he's going to be a little happy that he could help you. So this leads me to the next thing, which is if you want a man to be obsessed with you, don't, exactly as I said before, talk about all the things you love. Talk about all your interests. Talk about the things that you need help with. That's another one. Talk about all the things you need help with. Oh, I could use some help with this or help with that. Be nice about it. Don't be like this, that. No. But the next thing you have to do is sometimes turn your brain off a little bit. I'm not telling you to turn off the radar that spots the red flags, but turn off the part of your brain that is obsessed with people pleasing. It's hard. Maybe I should make a video about turning that part of your brain off. But when you start just being like, you know what? I'm not going to entertain something unless it is the behavior I want from my future husband, then you're actually going to set yourself on a path of things being a little bit easier for you, because you're not going to be sitting around entertaining whenever he does something you don't want him to do. This is exactly how the law of attraction works. If you're focusing on everything that he's doing wrong and you're cussing him out and you're telling your man or men in general, oh, you didn't text me. You didn't text me today. He's going to be like, oh, I'm getting her energy. I'm going to keep on texting her. Again, you're a doormat. You're not his dream girl, but he's getting energy from you. So he's going to keep on texting you because he knows that he can energy side for you. Whenever there's a discussion, whenever there's something that comes up with your man, retract. Maybe ask him a couple questions so he can kind of like kill the conversation himself and sit there and play a little dumb. Like, oh, interesting. I didn't think about that. Let him understand that when it's something that you're not interested in, he's not going to get your energy. And that way you flip the power dynamic and you step into actually being the powerful one in the relationship. So how do you make him obsessed with you? You become a menace. You become an absolute menace. You channel your energy, your feminine energy. Feminine energy is not being a little dress and tutu and like, oh, animals. Oh. No. It's you putting yourself first, taking your energy and putting it into yourself, not doing more than you need to do, and also not being afraid of showing up as something that men hate. So I hope you liked today's video. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.